guys, my name is Chantel. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So today we're going to talk about Kono Oto Tomare episode 8. So it definitely started off very like chill and like just more of like a relaxed episode compared to like what we've been like having these past few episodes where there was just like a bunch of backstories and cool moments and stuff like that. This was just more like laid back. I mean, we do get some sweet moments here and there, which I will discuss like later on in my video, but I don't know where to start. I guess I'll start off with Hozuki because this is how the episode opens up, with her having lunch with a group of girls, which I thought was so sweet because Chika does invite her to go and eat with them. But then he sees like, oh, there's a group of girls coming and it looks like they're gonna approach her. So he like bumps her into them, which I was like, oh my god. Like Chika's pretty clever because he knew that she wouldn't do this on her own. So he was like, you know what, let me create an opportunity for her, which I thought was very, very sweet. And at first Hozuki's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, why are you being so rude? And then she like, it clicks like instantly. She was like, wait a minute, he did this for me, which I thought was so sweet. Like, oh, like as of like last episode, I've been shipping them. And now, like, seeing these little things, like, here and there, I'm just like, oh, the ship is strong. Like, it's so cute. Like, overall, I thought it was really adorable, especially, like, seeing how Hozuki is, she's easily flustered. She blushes a lot in this episode, which I was here for it. Hozuki blushing is very, very adorable. And it's just, oh my gosh, it's just the sweetest thing. You guys have to see for yourself. Especially when Chika like tends to like tease her a little bit and she starts to blush like a lot, and she tries to cover it up somehow, and she ends up being rude to Chika, which is like their relationship is just really, really fun to watch overall, and I love it. But anywho, it's just really nice overall to see Hozuki enjoying herself and hanging out with her friends and doing things that she's never been able to do all her life because of her mother and her life revolving around the koto. Like now she's able to live a life like a teenager and do like normal things and hang out with friends and things like that, which is really, really nice. And like I said before, I think I said it in my last video, it's something that she's always wanted to do and always wanted to be a part of. So it's just really nice to see her having a good time and finally enjoying these moments. And since we're on the topic of Hozuki, there is a new girl that we get introduced. I mean, we did get introduced to her a little bit. We got like a sneak peek in last week's episode, like towards the end. But this week's episode, we finally get to see who this mystery girl was. And it looks like she was like from this other school that's in like competition with the Hozuki school, where, you know, Hozuki was from, and like, you know, before she pretty much got exiled from her family. But anyway, this girl came here to find her and see if she could recruit her and be like, hey, can you, let's go, come on, let's like join my school. We'll have you, you're like more than welcome. She was like crazy obsessed with Hozuki for whatever reason, but it looks like she admires her a lot and would love to have her. But because of like her being all over Hozuki, she does not care about anybody else, and she thinks everyone else is basically like trash. She's like, why are you here with these amateurs? Like, you shouldn't even be here. You know, like, I was like, okay, this girl, like, again, why are all these girls like at first so, you know, mean and like very snobby, like Anyway, this girl was just basically trying to take Hozuki for herself and just, I guess, get to know her and spend time with her, because she was just in awe ever since, like, I can't remember what performance she saw of Hozuki, but she's like, oh my gosh, I need to find her. And she finally hunted her down, and like when Chika like touched her shoulder, she was like, oh my god, like freaking out. I was like, oh my god, what is going on with this girl? Like, has she not been around boys? Because as soon as she started seeing like all the other boys pile up, she's like, oh my god, you're surrounded by boys, what the hell? Like, I was like, girl, chill out, like, it's just a boy. But then she's like, oh, it's like an old girl school that she goes to, and I was like, okay, that makes sense why she reacted the way she did. But yeah, this girl so far, just the way, like, she seems very sweet, but I feel like she also needs to be careful like how she says things, because it can like rub people the wrong way. I mean, it obviously did with our characters, especially Hozuki, because Hozuki was able to stand up for herself in this episode. She was like, I'm here because I want to. I actually like being here. And just hearing her say this, the girl is pretty much kind of like in shock, and she's like, you're kidding, right? Like, they're holding you against your will, aren't they? Like, she thinks that she's pretty much joking around. She's like, okay, you know what? Like, come to my school, see us play, and then I promise you you'll want to join me and leave these people behind. And I was like, ooh, this girl. She's very, very, she really thinks highly of herself. That's all I'm gonna say. Which also brings me to my next thing that I want to talk about, which is with Kurata. So one of the schools that the girl mentions, as soon as he mentions this, Kurata kind of is very hesitant for whatever reason, when we don't know why, until we get like a little bit of a tiny glimpse of a backstory where it seems like he applied to this school, but he didn't get in, but his friends did. They were all like trying to like get into the school, and for whatever reason, somehow, some way, Kurata didn't make it. So I was like, ooh, that sucks. He basically got left behind. But overall, like with Kurata, we don't know too much. It's just as soon as he mentions the school or something about the school, his eyes kind of go dark, and I'm like, ooh, I'm not liking that look on your face. So I guess we'll find out more later on. I don't know, we'll see and see like what is the deal there. Like I said, all we really know is that he tried to get into school and it just didn't work out. So yeah, but besides Kurata, I guess let's go ahead and move on to like the next character that I do want to talk about, which is Chika. We get another sweet moment about Chika and where he's living currently, and just more about his grandfather. So Chika is living with his aunt, and it's basically from his dad's side of the family. It's his dad's sister, and she I do like her a lot. She seems like a fun character, especially like the way that she's introduced. She looks like she doesn't really care, especially because she has like a mess in her house, and Chica's like, I told you you need to clean up, blah blah blah, and then she has Chika in a corner in the living room. She just like has a bed set up for him, and she's like, here is Chika's room. Like during the day, like there's a note that says during the day he can walk around freely. I was like, oh my god, like I was laughing, but at the same time I felt kind of bad for Chika. On top of that, like the boys' reaction, because he does bring his friends over, like their reactions were so hilarious to seeing like Chika's little bed like in the corner. They were like nice, like I don't know, like it was just funny. They were all basically there so they could practice with Chika at home, and they were able to see that Chika has like 2 kotas, and they're like, why do you have 2? Don't you want to play the one that your grandfather gave you? And you know, Chika doesn't want anything bad to happen to the one that his grandfather gave him. And also because of like things that happened in his past, or if something happens to her, if it gets lost or broken, as Hozuki said, he doesn't want to like feel bad. But also because it came from his grandfather, and there's just like this heavy feeling. He just feels like he's not worthy to play it. He's like, it's from my grandfather, like I don't feel like I can do it. I don't think I can play that. Like he just feels like overwhelmed with all of these emotions. He just doesn't feel, like I said, worthy overall. But I do like that in this episode, you know, the boys are cheering him up, and they're like, no, like you definitely are worthy. You're always facing like the koto head on, and you're always like, you know, trying to do the best out of like every situation, and like basically motivate him. And this kind of opens Chika's eyes, and he ends up playing it. But like I said, he's also has like that doubt, like, am I really worthy? Am I really, like, is it okay for me to play something like this that my grandfather made with all his like love and sweat, blood, and tears? Like it's like the last gift that he has from his grandfather, so I can understand why he would feel like this. But it also like tells you like how much he valued that relationship that he had with his grandfather, and this is like the one thing that he has left that connects him to his grandfather, even though he's gone. And speaking of the grandfather, we do get to see a little bit of a conversation between the aunt and the grandfather. It seems like his grandfather had planned this already out, like where Chika was gonna stay at if something were to happen to him. He called his aunt and he was like, hey, if anything happens to Chika, please take care of him. I want him to be always smiling and happy. I want to see like that smile continue on even after I'm like gone out of this world. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you talking like this? Like, You know, like it makes it kind of sad because I'm like, oh, like he knew, I think he, you know, he is old, so I think he knew like at some point he was gonna pass away, and he's like, well, where's this boy gonna go? Like he's, I don't know, I just thought that was sweet, and also because like he thought ahead, and he's like, here, let me give him a place to stay. If something were to ever happen to me, he at least has a home to get back to. So yeah, and also it was just really nice to hear what his grandfather thought once again about Chika. He thinks very highly of him, and it's just, it like breaks my heart more that he, you know, the grandfather passed away. But you can definitely tell that, you know, his grandfather and Chika both loved each other very, very much. And it always gets me really emotional seeing like little flashbacks like this because I'm like, ah, like the relationship is very, very sweet. Overall, I think that's pretty much all I really wanted to discuss for this week's episode. It was definitely a very, very, very good episode overall. I mean, what episode hasn't been good of Kono Oto Tomare? I have loved every single bit of each episode as it goes on, and I'm so glad that we're getting another season in October. It's great, and I really wish that more people would be talking about this and more people would watch it, because I feel like people are missing out on a hidden gem. It's just, it's so good, and I'm really loving all the development these characters are having and just all of these sweet moments that we get to see them in. It's just, it's great. Anyway, I think I'm done rambling. I will go ahead and end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!